Hey everybody, welcome back to Fussy Cut Crafts. I'm Adrian. I hope you're all having a great week. From what I've heard, well, a great beginning to your week because it's Monday right now, and I think I'll probably post this video tomorrow, so on Tuesday. But I've heard that there's been another weather event, and this one is worse than last time, than early in February. So I hope you're all safe and warm and have enough food and all that good stuff, and don't have to try to leave the house. You can just stay at home and try to relax. Um, I am going to do something I don't think I've ever done before, which is I posted over the weekend a magazine harvest, and this L is one of the magazines I use for my February magazines. I'm going to go ahead and actually use the things I just harvested to work on my big old glue book here, which is, as you can see, it's a lot larger than the magazine. My big Neiman Marcus catalog. And you can kind of see there the width of it. I'm going to use this because I haven't worked in it in quite some time. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and use the things I just ripped out. And I went through last night, after harvesting everything, and did all my fussy cutting and decided what I wanted as squares, what I wanted as backgrounds, and everything. So I don't have to do that right now while I'm recording. Let's just take a look at some of the things I ripped out. I've got, say hi to Kima. She's coming. There she is, of course. Okay. I've got some little faces here that I cut out. Not sure what I'll do with those just yet, but we'll see. I got those. I did a lot of fussy cutting. Kima, you're blocking the whole camera. I cut out a lot of jewelry. Some of the things I cut out right here. Did a lot of little fussy cutting. Um, let's see. I've got some scraps and other just weird odds and ends. And some as you can see, much larger fussy cuts. That watch face. Haven't done that one yet because I'm not sure. Not sure. Not sure if I'm going to cut around each individual gem or if I'm going to try to cut out each whole earring and honestly, I cut so much stuff out yesterday. And I didn't even, if you watch that February New Magazine Harvest video, I didn't come anywhere near pulling out everything I wanted to pull out. I left a lot of stuff because I very specifically did not want to overwhelm myself with things to have to fussy cut. So I'm going to use these things. And let me see. I should have put, before I started filming here, I should have gotten my glue surface ready. For some reason, I always forget to do that. And then I end up gluing on my cutting board, which is okay, but not really what it's for. You know what I'm saying? Let me see here. Let me get that out. This is just a silicone mat, and I actually still have the wrap on it, the plastic on it. Let me put that right near my surface there. Yeah, so I hope everybody is doing well and not super stressed out. not. And I hope you guys don't have to go anywhere because my goodness, I've heard like 2 or 3 feet of snow, and I'm not sure if it's stopped snowing in most places or not. Let's see, what page do I want to start on? I did actually, yeah, it's a completely white page here. Yeah, let me see. I think I want to put down background of some kind. Do I want to do that? I actually don't mind that by itself with the white space. But if I put that over this, it kind of does its own. For some reason, I've been really kind of obsessed with the negative space, especially when it relates to faces and removing either a lot or most of the face and then putting something, some sort of background image underneath that kind of stands in as the features of the face. Hmm, I don't mind that. Do I feel like messing with all that right now? I don't know. Maybe I should just get some of my, yeah. Oh yeah, I like that. I'm gonna do her. I actually kind of need, this book is so large that despite the fact that I have a pretty big table here, it's still kind of difficult to get it to get it oriented in just the right way so that I have enough room to do everything. So I'm gonna do that. So I can move this over so that at least this is centered while I'm working on this page. And I'm gonna try to work on Kima. Thank you. I'm gonna see if I can do at least a couple of spreads, if not more. There's this unsightly crease right here, which is because once I cut stuff out last night, Kima came and sat on all my fussy cuts and was cleaning her, bathing, and I'm like, no, not, and she twisted my pages and got things all crinkled up. So hazards involved with fussy cutting and glue booking and having any sort of art project in an area where there's a slightly chaotic feline. Here we go. Get my spreader thingy out. And this is just, this is actually a frosting spreader thing that I got from the dollar store. It just works to help you be able to make sure you press out all the air bubbles or any little chunks of glue you get in there. Yeah, I like that. I really like that. What else am I going to put on this page? I'm going to try to just focus on the things I cut out last night. And there's a whole magazine because I also got a W, which is a magazine that's basically the size of this Neiman Marcus catalog. I didn't even flip through that or do any harvesting. because the pages are really thin. The pages didn't used to be as thin. I don't like her now. I don't like the little faces down there. Maybe I should get out. Hmm. You know what? I'm gonna actually use some. I'm gonna use some of my Poscas just to dress this page up a little bit. I love this big bronze one. I love metallics. I do kind of like all the white space around her, but also we could do a little bit of this. See, I don't mind that. Of course, it's gonna have to dry, which will be its own. Just follow the. Hmm. I don't mind this. I don't mind this at all. Do I want to do one more? I think I'll do one more line. This is something else I've been doing a lot. I did a video a few months ago about using your magazine pages to just draw on, which you can then, rip out and use for uh, collage fodder or whatever. Hmm. Let's see. I almost think this would go nicely somewhere. I wish it were like this, but with all the decorations on it, because I think that would work. Let me see, what about this flower? Almost, almost. Yeah, I like that there. It's a little bit of contrast because this is, some kind of brooch or something. Um, and it's, I'm guessing diamonds and whatever else, but it's in black and white. So I don't know. I'm assuming this is just the actual color of the brooch. Yeah, that adds a little something to it. Try not to. Let me see, maybe I could use this somewhere else, like right here. Kind of like that. I kind of like that. Yeah, I like that. One of the reasons I like this, using this giant catalog as a glue book, is because you have so much room to play with things. Especially if you get larger magazines like W, which I actually have it here. I mean, look at how big this magazine is. It's the pages here are almost the same size as the pages in this catalog that I'm using as a glue book. So if you get larger magazines like that, and even your L's and Vogues, I guess no, I think Vogue has gotten smaller. I think Vogue used to have larger pages, and actually, now that I look at it, I'm pretty sure L used to have larger pages too. But everybody's cutting back because everything's so expensive. But if you get a magazine that has larger pages, something using something like this or another, just like a giant sketchbook or something like that, is really helpful to use as a glue book, because you have enough room to really play with your images without cutting things down. Let me see. What is this? Let me see. Oh, I like that there. See what happens when you just cut stuff out and then just let your imagination run, as opposed to trying to plan everything out. And there's nothing wrong with planning stuff out, obviously, but let me see. Can I move this down? Yeah, before it completely dries. There we go. So that that flat edge matches up with the flat edge of the page. And of course, now I've got weird little glue stain there. What else can I put in there? Got so many like large gems and things. Don't want to do, that's too much. Too much. I need something a little bit smaller. Like these earrings, that works. I did, as you saw with some of the fussy cuts, I did go in and last night when I was fussy cutting, remove the white space in between images, like on earrings and things like that. I did not do that with these because I cut a lot of things out last night, despite the fact that I didn't fully harvest any of the magazines I went through, because I was very specifically trying not to overwhelm myself with stuff I would then have to cut out. Let me see. Don't want to put these little shades on her. Oh, I almost like that, but they're kind of backwards. Does it matter? Does it matter that they're backwards? You know what? Ain't no law. I think I kind of like that. I almost wish there was more of a contrast though, and that they had a different frame. But I'm gonna say fuck it and just put it down anyway. And I'm doing it upside down because that goes better with the direction of this image. Just kind of fully cover her head there. Yeah. And I think it looks like my Posca's dried. So that's good. Don't have to worry about that getting stuck to the next page anymore. Do I want something else on here? I feel like I could have something up here, maybe some kind of like bordery thing or something. Let me see. Because I have a lot of other fussy cuts of various sizes. And I also have some scraps. Oh, I've got words too. Maybe one of my words will work. Let's see here. Radical Glamour. I feel like I'm not very organized with this video today, but that's okay. Color wheel. Almost. That might work. February. It is still February. Style. The primary challenge. It feels a little too serious for her smiling face. Obsessions. Kindred spirit. Maybe. Of course, my sleeve just knocked a bunch of stuff off. This is too, I like what that says, but it's too much. It's too big. What's new? Endless ways of wonderful. I wish that was a little flashier. The typeface. I've had so many people tell my parents that I'm wasting my youth. Here I am now, bitches. I don't mind that, but I kind of wish it was a little bit bigger. Monster Energy, The Artist Way, Love from the World, Star Princess, Journey That Moves You, State of Grace. Huh, I kind of like that one. Yeah, I don't think the colors really work for that one. None of those. Okay, let me see. So we're going to do either Color Wheel, which I kind of like, or State of Grace. Honestly, I think I like State of Grace. So that's what I'm going to do for that one. I mean, I think it is good when you sit down to glue book, even if you haven't just recently harvested the images you're using, to kind of decide on a set of images you want to use so that you're not, so that you don't feel overwhelmed at all during the process, because this is supposed to be fun and relaxing and all that good stuff. There, I like that. I think that's done. So you don't want to have to think too much, basically, to the point where possibly you stress yourself out. That's not good. You're supposed to just be having a good old time when you do this, when you glue book or collage or, junk journal or whatever it is, whatever kind of art practice you have. I feel like I need to set my words down in a special place so I don't forget I have them. There. I really like that. Page 1 done for today. What do I want to use next? Kind of halfway done this page. Would anything else go right here? I feel like there is a way to use the image that's already, oh, I kind of like that. A way to use the image that's already on the page there. Yeah, I kind of like that. What am I going to do about this down here? Let me see. I feel like I need like a little bit of a border or something down there on the bottom. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Okay, I'm going to glue her down because I like this here. This is a page I did quite a while ago, and now that I see it, oh, I hate that. Don't you hate it when the glue kind of gets away from you and you end up with smears, and then of course you try to wipe it off and it immediately gets dirty? So difficult. Could be worse, but just annoying, right? And overall, it doesn't matter that much because you're just playing around and having fun and relaxing or whatever. Um, but it's always annoying to have what you see as little mistakes in your glue book or whatever. But it's good to remember that this is just for you. You don't have to show it to anybody, and you don't have to freak out over any perceived mistakes or anything. There, I like that. It's not that deep. I definitely, this is a newer ad for, was it Cartier? I can't remember. Um, I think I might cut her face out again because I do like the way it looks. One of the things that's good about getting a lot of subscribing to a lot of fashion magazines is that you will get the same ads and similar ads. And that's another thing that can help you get images that easily work well together. Um, because like she, I think, was opposite. Oh, it's Chanel. She was opposite these giant rings, which now that I look at it, hmm, maybe not. Maybe not that, but definitely for somewhere else. Actually, let me see if any of these like bangles I cut out will work. These larger. Hmm. I almost don't mind this. How do I wanna? That actually kind of works for me. Let me try something else. Of course, because I could use a watch. Not as much. Could use this giant gemstone. Too big. Probably the same thing with this. Oh, you know what? I don't mind this at all. Hmm. If I had. Oh, no, can't peel it up. Too late. Too late. Might as well. Hmm. I kind of don't mind that. I wish I had. If I had kind of said, well, okay, this is one of the things about about not planning out, not trying to plan out what you're going to do. If I had kind of put this together beforehand, what I would have done is not fully glue her down, and then this little loop of the bangle here would have gone under the image. But even this isn't terrible. Cover the eyebrow there. Do I want to do all of this? Now, see, I also don't, you know what? I don't mind that. Cover the ear and the eye. Let me see. Just use my fingernail here to kind of get the border. So I'm going to cut just a teensy little bit of the image off so that it kind of, and hopefully I got that correct. Just cut a little bit of it off so that it fits more evenly with the side of her face there. Already getting a little, my gluing surface here is already getting a little sticky. Of course, one of the, and you don't need a silicone mat or whatever like this. I just got these because they were cheap, and I want to try to do more. I don't think I've done these on camera, but I like to do the. Is that it? Is that what I want? Yeah. I like to do the acrylic skins, which is where you take acrylic paint and just put it down on like either a non-stick surface or something like a silicone mat, or even the plastic that's on top of this mat. Let it dry, and then you can just peel it off and use it in your art. Just dried acrylic paint. So that's why I got those mats, but it does work as a gluing surface. Of course, you can just use the back of one of the magazines you've harvested or whatever. Yeah, I like that. I like that. What else do I want to do with this page? I feel like I want to cover this down here. Let me see. Might as well get out another Posca. Red? I don't know if I want this color. Like if I'm gonna do it, I want a color that matches this, the red gemstone, but I don't have that. So I'm just gonna go back to my bronze. Just cover that and do enough that it actually covers. These pages are, um, they're kind of in between shiny and matte. And that's going to have to dry, but I need to do something over here. Maybe the moon, it kind of feels too black and white. Let's see. Something with some color to it. Too much? Huh. Not sure. Maybe if yeah. I'm gonna just like fold this down here so I can try to get an actual. I'm terrible at cutting straight lines. I do have a paper cutter, which is in my closet, which I never get out. I cannot remember the last time I used it. So I'm just folding this here so I can try to get a straight line. Of course, just line the edges up to do that. And then I'm going to not do a complete fussy cut because that would take a long time with all the little edges on the spires of this cathedral. Just going to do a little wibbly wavy line around all of that stuff so it doesn't take too long. And then put this down. And I have accidentally gotten some of my paint, because it wasn't dry yet, on the edge of this image, but most of that's going to come off when I finish the cutting part of this. Doot. Because most of it got on the sky, which I'm cutting out. The challenge now, of course, will be to put glue all over this without ripping off one of the spires of this church. Let me see, and I actually don't mind that, so I'm going to keep that because that's how I roll with my scraps. Yeah, I like that. I do like that. Apologies if you just heard that noise. I think it was some kind of truck going down the street. It's trash day, but they collected all of our trash and recycling remarkably early. They don't usually get both things by 11:30, but they did today. So I was actually able to go ahead and put oh, there it is. I ripped it. Where is it? Yeah, I ripped it on the bottom edge, so at least I'll be able to easily try to put that back on. There's that. And now I've got this. I was so close. I had already put glue on it, and then I went in to put more. I got greedy. I got glue greedy. There. I mean, there's a little white line in there, but from ripping it, but it's not terrible. It's not terrible. Now I feel like I need something to kind of cover that blunt edge up right there. Maybe this is the time for one of my random faces. No, that's weird. Too weird. Too weird for what I'm looking for right now. Keeping all these little heads organized is a bit of a challenge. Okay. Let me see. What else do I want in there? Feels like it should be a shape of some sort. No, not that. Got this little lady. She's kind of too small. No. Let's see. Let's see. Another lady. Huh. I don't 100% mind that. And just use her enough so that she covers up that blunt edge. And it kind of looks like she's walking on the floor there. Do I want to do that or is there something else? Oh. Could also use some of my scraps for just something random, like could easily do this and just put a little random bit there. But I kind of like something that'll sort of fill this space. I don't know if I have a random scrap big enough. Well, of course I do. Also got this, and this is an actual fussy cut. It's not quite doing it for me. But this, it's actually not terrible, and I could still put her in here, I guess. That feels like too much now, though, right? I'm not sure. Do I want this? Because this kind of fills the space up enough. Or do I want her? Is she too distracting from this? And actually, do I like those colors? I like her white pants and this orange jacket more than I like this green backgroundy thing from the scrap. So maybe I'll stick with the lady for now. Oh, there's also this bit of a purse, which I think I would have to cut down if I use that. And I really don't want to cut that down. So I'm going to stick with the lady, the little tiny lady. Again, trying really hard not to accidentally rip her head off or her feet. Here we go. There. Let's see. Again, trying to make sure I have this book, this giant book, in frame enough so you guys can see what I'm doing. There she is. Let's see. Is this dry? Yeah. Yeah, that's dry. Now, do I want something up here? I feel like something with blunt edge. I sort of like that. I do sort of like that. Not up here. Over here. I actually kind of like that. Down she goes. Got a lot of little areas on this one because I cut the negative. She's got her arms, her hands on her hips. So there's a space between each arm and her torso. And I did it. I managed to get glue on everything without ripping anything. No. Don't get stuck down yet. You're not where I want you. There. I did it. I did it. Now I think I want something right here, but what? Don't know. I've got another crazy old timey lady. Hmm. It kind of feels like too much, doesn't it? There's just so much of her. It's the hair. Their hair takes up a lot of visual real estate when you look at it. So I don't know. That might be too much. Just a little scrap of, huh? Yeah, I feel like that doesn't take up enough space. It might be the lady with the hair. It might be, unless, yeah, I don't quite like. That's not quite doing it for me. It might be the hair lady, guys. I might have to put the hair lady down. Yeah, let's do it. Crazy hair lady. Crazy hair lady it is. Again, delicate process of not accidentally ripping any of this image off. Blah. Oh, oh no. I've come very close, guys. I've come very close. Here, I'm not going to go back over any of the image. Hopefully that's just enough glue. Oh, I did it. It's she's going over the edge of the page a little bit up top, but nobody will see that if I don't want them to. So it's not a big deal. There. I think that's good. And there's so much going on up here. I don't mind leaving this empty. Yeah, I think we've got page 2 done. Okay. I think. All right. Empty pages, or mostly empty pages, are hard to come by, especially since, well, spoke too soon. Let me see. I'm losing track of my tiny heads. Hold on. Put those over here. Okay. So I could definitely put one of my larger images on here. Like who? Just go ahead and mostly fill this page up with an image. Maybe, oh, well, this would work nice, wouldn't it? That's almost perfect. I'm going to have to glue so carefully, but I'm up to the challenge. Let's do it. Let's make sure all the glue has dried on my surface here so I don't accidentally glue her to my gluing page. Again, lots of little gaps in this image because she's got her hands on her hips. There's the foot that's coming out the side. Let's see. I'll deal with that after I get the main part of the image done. Her face. The most like terrifying thing when you're trying to get glue on an image is well, you have to hold it down, right? But then realizing your finger has gotten kind of stuck, and then you have to pull it up and hope that you don't bring all of the image up with you. Okay. Here. Nope, nope, nope. Careful, careful, careful. It's crooked. It's crooked. I don't like it. It's crooked. Oh my God, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Okay. Okay. Very carefully. See, it's so difficult when you have an image like this that's got, feels like it's got like moving moving pieces. I'm just going to have it not be fully correct because I would rather that than to have it rip. So her arm is coming off the page there and her foot isn't all the way down at the bottom of the page, but at least I salvaged it. And if you can see, I actually cut out the high heel here. So I cut out the little space for her high heel and everything. Terrifying. Just trying to get that down correctly. Okay, I feel like a whole lot of this, the glue had started to dry by the time I got it down. So let me do her face again. This edge isn't quite right. Do that. But that arm, let me see. Nope, some of her arm isn't fully on. There. Okay, her dress down here. There. Okay, and then I will just cut off this little bit of her arm that didn't make it onto the page. That's not fully. There. And now you would never know that they're supposed to be part of this image on the page that I did not get on the page. What's happening here? Let me see. This is a little loose. See if I can get just enough under there. Okay. All righty. Well, now we can work on what else we're going to put on this page with her, especially since she's got a flat edge on top of her head there. You know what? Love it. I kind of love it. Let's put a moon on her head. Or the earth? It's the earth. I'm silly. It's definitely the earth. Just to cover that. There. Love it. Love it. What else do we have going on? You can fill most of this in. Let's see. Of course, I do have some of the moon right here. Again, I feel like that's not enough. Not enough contrast since most of what I have here is a black and white image. Too much, not enough. Too much, not enough. Maybe I could do something with this. Yeah. Gonna do some more fussy cutting, guys. Start by folding this. I think my cat is snoring. I think one of the cats is snoring. Either that or somebody's actually mowing their lawn. I don't know if you can hear that or not. There's that. Now, I think what I want to do is kind of cut out. Don't want it to go this way. There's more contrast if it goes that way. Just kind of. Oh yeah, one of the cats is definitely snoring. Snoring quite a lot. Just following. I'm just following the and I don't know what this background is made of. I don't know if these are sequins or what. Um, but I'm just following the background and they're kind of like rounded squares for the most part. There's a few circles in here, but just going every other line and following like the rounded edge and cutting some of them out so that we don't have just a big old blobby square, a rectangle really. And then maybe I do, let's see, do some at the bottom as well. Just to make it a little bit interesting on the bottom and the top. And also I want to get rid of some of this purse handle. I can just put something over it, but I want to see how it looks with just, let's see, it's just that. Hmm. I actually kind of like this right over her knee like this. It almost fits. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And gather up all my little cuts because these can be used for something else, like to cover eyes or other facial features or just to put around, like to border an image or whatever. And once again, I'm faced with cutting these things out in a way that does not find me easily ripping the crap out of them. I'm going to start by doing just one side and see if that helps. Go down the center and then do the other side. Apologies for my sleeve being in the way. It is very chilly here, um, as it probably is in many places right now. We've got, I think it's 22. Oh, my finger got stuck and it ripped. It's okay. It's okay. We will survive. Um, Let me see here. There, there. We did it. Did it without any major incidents. I like it. I like it. Do we want something else on this page? Actually, well, first of all, looks like I got kind of missed, didn't get enough glue on here. So I'll do that. But then also, I can use some of these offcuts just to, yeah, I like that. Just put some of these offcuts on here randomly to decorate the rest of the page. And then I think that'll probably be it for this page. It's just an example of how you don't need to do a lot to these pages to get something that's visually interesting. Um, of course, it helps. It's not a completely white page. You got this black, um, well, what's a shelf? The edge of a shelf down here, the gray background, and then the plain white background. But you don't have to go above and beyond putting 1,000 things on a page. You don't have to start with a whole background and then go to squares and then go to fussy cuts. you can just, do a few images. This is essentially one, two, three things that I added to the page. And you've got, do a little creative cutting on something, and it turns into something pretty cool. So let's see. I think I'll probably do, yeah, I like that. I like that. I've got two more little bits that I can add. Let's see. Do this right here. And let's see this, or is it, wait a minute. Do I have more than I thought I did? Yeah. Okay. I've got three more little bits that I can use to just dot around the page. There. This one. And, despite no matter what you cut out or rip out of a magazine or a catalog or whatever you're using to get your images out of, uh, don't be afraid to alter it, you know, because you will sometimes get there. Page 3, done. Wait a minute. I keep thinking I'm out of the little things I cut out and finding another one. There's room for this one down here. I don't like that. I kind of like that blank space. Maybe right here. There. There. Okay. Even if I find another one, I'm not putting any more down. I can save it for something else. So, page 3, done. Let's see. What else do we want to do? That would be interesting to work on. Let me see. We've got a close up of a lady's back with a necklace hanging down. Again, I can get one of my big fussy cuts. Let me see. Is that enough contrast to really make that interesting? Maybe something else. That's not big enough. These are both big enough. There's a lot of contrast in these. So she's a possibility. And I also have this lady. And I kind of like how the chain works with that. There's also this lady. Now the space between her face and she's wearing a hoop earring, and I have not cut that out yet. Do I feel like doing that right now? Because I don't have to do it. I could just cut it off because that earring isn't going to show up well on this background anyway. I think I like the lady in red better. Yeah, I like the lady in red better. So I'm going to put her down. Or wait a minute, I've got one more lady. Let me try this one. Yeah, that also works really well with the chain. Let me see. That does also work really well with the chain. Which one do you think? This lady or this lady? I gotta say I like both of them, but something about this one just gives me a different mood that I like. I think I'm gonna go with this lady. Let's get my gluing surface straight here. Sorry again for just moving, shifting this book back and forth. Um, that's the best way to make sure I keep it all, I keep the surface I'm working on camera. Let me see. I did something a couple of Mondays ago that I don't know if I've ever done before, at least not on my Mondays off. Um, I did art stuff all day, like all day. I was just gluing and cutting, and it was really incredibly satisfying. And I came away that Monday having had such a good day. It was so relaxing. It was so, man, I got a lot of air bubbles in here. And feeling just so good and like accomplished and stuff in a way that I don't normally feel. Even, I mean, I have to do a lot at work to feel accomplished and not also exhausted at the end of the day, which is unusual. Usually, if I do a lot at work, I feel I'm just kind of wiped out. But spending like probably like 6 or 7 hours just gluing, and at the end of the day, I felt really good. So I'm going to try to do more of that. Do I like that? Feels like too much. Do I want to just leave this like this? There's got to be something else I can put on here. Not that. Actually, I kind of don't mind this. I don't mind that. Let me see if that's the end all be all. It's hard to say. Got this. Not a fan of that little. Huh. Yeah, I kind of like this. And this blunt edge of this weird uh I don't know even know what this is. I don't know if it's a dish or a brooch or a wall hanging. No idea, but it kind of works. Kind of works. As does this. Do I want it like this or do I want this over here? Let's see. Hmm. Decisions, right? Nope, I don't like that. Of course, I could move this around. Ugh. God, this eyeball on here looks even creepier after having turned this upside down. Hmm. I think if I use that, yeah, that's even creepier. I don't know. There's something about the hole I cut for this ring. It makes me feel like I should put it here or like very specifically over something. No, not quite. At least not that way. Maybe if I go like this. No, that's too much. I'm probably overthinking this and I should just put it down. Yeah, I'm just going to put it down because there is no right or wrong way to do this. And when you're starting to overthink things, it is sometimes better to just get something on the page. Just get the thing down. Oh, this is sticking up a little bit. Didn't quite get that, so I'll do that. Oh, hmm. Mm-mm. Mm, 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 mm-hmm. I don't want to cover the flowers in her hair. But I do kind of like the idea of using the band of this ring to cover her eyes, or at least one of her eyes, but not that way. Hmm. I'm really overthinking this. Really, really overthinking this to the point where I'm embarrassing myself a little bit. So I'm just going to glue it down. That's what I'm going to do. And again, because I did cut out the center of this ring band, I'm going to have to glue very easily and just, oh. Try very hard not to rip it there. Oh, I hate the little glue stringies. Is there is there a glue that you guys know of that does not give off the little glue stringies? It is the one thing about this glue. I do love it. If you get a good coating on, your stuff does not lift up, but it does definitely give you the little glue stringies. I feel like I need something right here. I like this, but there's not this moth. There's not really any contrast there, so it doesn't stand out as much as it could. Ew. Well, that's interesting. That would be wild. I almost like that. I guess the thing that's bugging me about this is the Chanel. I don't want the Chanel in here. Maybe for a different image, but not this one. What do you think? I kind of like that. Yeah, I'm going for it. Weird and definitely not the way I was planning to use these rings when I cut them out because I didn't even notice how it looked on the other side. Aside from the fact that I didn't feel like I needed to have that ad, I didn't notice how the cutout ring translated to her face. I'm going to try to line it up so that her skin kind of follows the line of the lady's back. There. There we go. Done. Now, let's see. I do feel like I need something on her eye. I've got some tiny jewels. Let's see, a watch face. What else? Oh, this is a very tiny jewel. Maybe do it at an angle like that. Yep, I like it. Is this the fourth page? Guys, we got to 4 pages a lot quicker than I was thinking we would. Let's turn it a little. There. Boom. Do I want something here? to cover her eyes, or at least one of her eyes. Let's see. Maybe not that because it's, well, wait a minute. If I line it up so that it hits the, wow, I like that. I'm doing that. That's weird. I'm doing it. It's a very delicate gluing operation here because of this thin. There. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Got just enough separation here. I think I like that. Do I want to cover her other eye? Is the question. Got this. Let's see. Not quite. Of course, there's this, which I had tried to use on the other eye. Maybe not. I think that's it for my tiny jewels. Oh, I've got these. Wait a minute. These earrings. Well, that's really just ridiculous, isn't it? Not mad at it. Let me try this other one. Oops, where'd it go? Here we go. No, that's not doing it. Do I want to cut it? Just cut it down so we just get a little bit of it. Just enough to cover her eye. Yeah, I think I'll leave it like it is. There we go. I think I like that. This is page 4. Let me see how we're doing on time. Whoa, it's over an hour? All right. I think that works. So we've got this page right here. We've got this page, which I really like. Look at that. That works. We have this page right here. There was one more, right? Or was that the first one? I've already forgotten. This is what I get for not counting. No. Yeah, okay. That's it. I should have put page markers in. Okay, guys. So we got, oh, here it is. See, I knew there was a 4th page here. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me. This video turned out to be longer than I was expecting. And I actually have to go to physical therapy. Yeah, I have to feed the cats, eat something, and go to physical therapy. Okay. Thanks a lot for joining me. I hope you're all having a great week and safe and warm and everything. And I will see you later. Be sure to like, subscribe, send the video to people if you enjoyed it. And I hope you also, hope this gave you some ideas and maybe even got some of your own gluing done while I was going through all my stuff. Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great week. I'll see you later. Bye bye.